Now, to discuss the disturbing loss of life on our roads, we're joined via telephone by the Namibian Police Spokesperson, Chief Inspector Kauna Shikwambi. Chief Inspector, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening to you.
Now, considering it's not even a long weekend, how does one explain the carnage on our national roads this past weekend?
Still, maybe I should start off to say we are equally saddened for the fact that deaths still continue to increase on our roads, and this really makes it hard for everyone to explain. Principally, I would say that as the police or from the police part, we have really done our best in ensuring that each and every road user know his or her responsibilities and, of course, how to behave when they are on the road. But disappointingly, road accidents continue to occur. So it is almost evident that there is pure ignorance, one would say, pure ignorance in our society when it comes to the laws of the country. And this is making it really difficult for every one of us. So if we continue to remain ignorant, we will continue to risk lives on our roads.
Now, from what we could gather, besides existing roadblocks, there doesn't seem to be any regular patrolling on public roads by traffic law enforcement. Could better law enforcement perhaps lead to fewer such deadly incidents, such as that accident or the accidents that took place this past weekend?
Hello?
Chief Inspector?
Yes, I hear you now.
Yes, so just to repeat my question, from what we could gather, besides existing roadblocks, there doesn't seem to be any regular patrolling on public roads by traffic law enforcement. Now, could better law enforcement perhaps then lead to a fewer such deadly incidents as the accidents that took place this past weekend?
Hello?
Chief Inspector?
Sure, you were cutting. I can hardly hear you.
Are you still with us?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, just to reiterate my question, particularly with regards to what we view on the roads in terms of police presence. Now, apart from roadblocks, there doesn't seem to be any particular police presence on our roads, particularly when it comes to law enforcement. Now, could better law enforcement then perhaps lead to less of these type of accidents happening on our roads?
It's so evident that road accidents do not just happen on highways. Road accidents do happen within towns, in urban and rural areas. But as a police force, we remain committed to ensure that we have increased traffic law enforcement on all our national roads, just so that we ensure road safety. However, it will also not be possible, I should say, to have a police officer or the police at every part of the road 24/7. So I would say the biggest responsibility lies with each driver. This is the only way we can win this fight and save lives on our roads.
Now, lastly, just before we let you go, and particularly in part of policing, now some of the weekend's recorded accidents were, of course, then as a result of overloading. What are some of the fines that are effective when it comes to overloading, and how strictly are they enforced?
The traffic regulation is very clear. Traffic regulation 252. It's clear that, let me make a reference to the Kalkfeld incident. The driver was operating a minibus. And in this regard, the traffic regulation is very clear that operating a minibus with too many passengers on a seat, that amounts to a maximum fine of 2,000 Namibian dollars. How it is enforced, the driver is then charged with that offense and all passengers are offloaded. But the question remains, are these fines really deterring enough to change the attitude of some drivers?
Well, that is certainly a valid question, and perhaps something that can definitely be looked at by, of course, then the police and the legislature in terms of ensuring that not only are these fines ineffective, then perhaps even looking at a manner of increasing these particular fines and looking at other measures as well. But Chief Inspector, unfortunately, we have run out of time. Thank you so much once again for making the time to join us.
Thank you to you and good night.
Well, there you have it. That was the Namibian Police Spokesperson, Chief Inspector Kauna Shikwambi, briefly discussing the possible reasons behind the high death toll on our national roads.